The Latinos Out Loud podcast.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Rachel La Loca. Loca on location, baby. I love when I'm in a teatro. I love everything about the theater. The smell of the popcorn, the stage, the murmurs from the people before and after a film. We just finished watching the Diaspora block here at the Dominican Film Festival. It's so exciting to be here. You know, last year was a very impactful year for me. I also had a short film in this festival and happened to meet the love of my life at this festival, that being film. No, just kidding. It's an actual man. And he's a filmmaker too. Shout out to Eddie Castro. Mwah, love you. Okay, we are here and I'm going to interview some of the actors, directors, and filmmakers here from the Dominican Film Festival. One of the actresses that really moved me from the block that I just saw is next to me, and I'd love to have her come on. Please welcome Maribel Collazo. Bang, Maribel, come to my office.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y usted?
Ay, muy bien. No me hables de usted, por favor.
But, no,
Yo sé que yo hice de 80 años, pero no lo soy.
80 años. She plays somebody that was 80 years old,
Yes.
which is very hard to believe. But tell me, how are you feeling after seeing this film of yours on the screen here at the Dominican Film Festival?
I'm very touched because I showed it to friends, and you know, they're real friends, so they always said, "This is great, I loved it." And some of them said that they cried, but I'm like, oh, they're my friends. I don't know if that's, you know, if I can believe it or not. So me encantó la reacción de las personas y me encantó que estuvieran cantando al final de la película. Me encantó, del corto.
I will tell you, it's such a touching subject. The film is all about Alzheimer's, and we all know someone in our family or close to that is affected by this terrible ailment. This film also hit home for you. Tell us about why.
Oh my God, this is hard. So, mi papá tuvo Alzheimer's, él ya falleció, pero fue un golpe muy grande para mi familia porque ellos creían que, es la vejez, se le olvidan las cosas porque ya está mayor y no creían que era una enfermedad. Entonces yo quería que con esta película la comunidad latina aceptara a Alzheimer's como una enfermedad, que es lo que es. No como que es la vejez, eso se le va a pasar, él tiene que recordar y hay ciertas formas de buscar apoyo para esta enfermedad muy grande. Así que si chicos, ustedes tienen alguien de su familia que tenga Alzheimer, les suplico que vayan y busquen apoyo, porque son muchas etapas, no tan solo una, y sí afecta mucho al enfermo y también a la persona que lo cuida. Así que cuídense mucho, mis amigos, cuídense mucho.
I need to hold your hand because I admire the courage that you mustered up to play this role, it having such an impact on your life with your father. Thank you for elevating awareness on Alzheimer's, and thank you for being such a wonderful portrayal of that viejita that we all love,
Sí.
that sometimes doesn't remember everything,
Yes.
but is still that viejita, that mamá, that abuelita, that tía, that makes us who we are.
Sí.
It was very touching. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, y también les quiero recordar que honren a sus personas mayores y que hablan con ellos, porque ellos todos tienen sus historias muy interesantes. Así que cuídenlos, ámenlos y conversen con ellos.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
And tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Maribel en Instagram, .6773.
Gracias, Maribel.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Guys, I'm so excited because I ran into a dear friend and former guest of the Latinos Out Loud podcast, Sargeant Aquilino's in the building here at the Dominican Film Festival.
Yay.
From Virginia.
Yep. And I'm here because you told me about it. So I'm here.
You know,
representing.
I feel like I'm a source of like what's happening in Dominican land, okay?
Which is true.
This is a really important event, and I'm glad that you got to experience it because you see all these stories being told through film. You told your story recently through a book in which we spoke about on the podcast, but tell me about life since the book has been published. What's been going on for Sargeant Aquilino ever since it's come out?
I mean, I continue to do the advocacy part of it. Continue to go to court to hold these people accountable for what they did on January 6th. And by the way, my book is called American Shield, the immigrant sergeant who defended democracy. I encourage you to look it up. The other thing that I have been doing is I was a surrogate for the Biden and also for Harris campaign, trying to raise awareness of what happened on January 6th. And, unfortunately, she did not win. But, hey, at least I tried. At least I tried. And staying silent was not an option for me.
And I know it's not going to ever be an option for you. And my question to you now is, we know who's going to take over the presidency again. What are some thoughts going through your head with this man coming to office again, having been through what you've been through?
I hope that was a one-time thing and that it doesn't repeat itself. It was very disappointing to learn the outcome of the last election recently on Tuesday. But, it is what it is. This is part of democracy, and if the majority of the people think that is fit to be the president, hey, don't complain later. But I'm here for the Dominican Film Festival. I met interesting people. Hopefully one day my book is made into a motion picture or a short film or something like that. So that'll be great. So if you know anybody, let me know or let her know, Rachel know. She put me in contact with you guys, and we'll go from there.
I think I know a few people, and they might be watching and listening right now. I just want to take this opportunity to honor Sargeant Aquilino's service. We're coming up on Veterans Day on Monday. Thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do for this country and for the Dominican people, and for giving those that don't have a voice, which seems to be the trend here today at the Dominican Film Festival. We're hearing a lot about these subject matters that don't get the platform and the big voice that they should. So your story is one of those subjects, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you. And that's what I'm here for, trying to use my platform to advocate for those people like that. And I didn't do any of those things, join the military, go to war in Iraq, or defend the Capitol on January 6th for an award or medal. I was simply doing my job, and I think that is reflected in everything that I had done ever since, and also in my book.
It's very admirable. Thank you. On behalf of all the Latinos and all the Dominicans and all the Dominicans and all the little locas and the big locas out there and the locos and the tigres and everyone else, toda la gente.
El coro.
El coro, ya tú sabes. Thank you.
Sí, gracias. Feliz Día de los Veteranos.
Yo, the show continues. It's your girl, Rachel La Loca here, Latinos Out Loud, Loca on location. I'm here with actress extraordinaire who you're going to see on Abbott Elementary, one of my favorite shows, Adargiza De Los Santos. And also I'm here with Maegan Philmore, but I think I'm forgetting a name in there. Maegan Latrice Philmore. Listen, all of y'all with 3 names that make my job more difficult. I love y'all. It's so nice to see you guys. Congratulations for being a part of the Dominican Film Festival. Your words really moved me. I had to hold back the tears because, of course, I couldn't find my waterproof mascara this morning. Adargiza, you are so confident on screen and you have so much voice. I want to hear, tell the LOLeros, who's our hive, all about the film that we just saw in the Diaspora Shorts block here at the Dominican Film Festival.
I think what I found most beautiful about Maegan's film is that there was no apology. As a woman, as a plus-size woman, as a dark-skinned woman, there was no apology. There was no apology. This is who I am. This is where I'm moving. And there was such beauty and ownership in being able to fill those shoes and sort of give voice to that demographic that never is viewed in a positive light. It's almost like, oh, she got lucky. No, bitch, I didn't get lucky. This is every day.
I mean, you got lucky in the film, but you know what I'm saying? I was watching. I was like, I'm next to my boyfriend, like, babe, where we going later? We're not going nowhere, right? We're going to stay home tonight. Thank you for bringing us there.
I mean, it has a lot to do with her vision, with her words, with her execution, with her storytelling, with her belief in in being able to tell her story, our story, the way she wants, and not asking permission from anybody.
Well,
Yeah.
Maegan Latrice Philmore, film is in your name. But tell us about this film and that vision that Adargiza's talking about.
Soul tie, during COVID, it became very common for people to talk about a connection you have with another person that could either be healthy or non-healthy. And during COVID for me, I realized how much I cared about me and how I was going to fight for me to feel better. So when I thought about putting Adargiza in the movie, that's her actual name. I gotta remember her starlet name. And so I was like, I want to show her the way I view her, right? Or the way I view people who are a part of more than they let on. And so when I started the movie, because our DP actually was like, that wouldn't be her house. And I was like, nah, that is her fucking house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Her actual apartment. She lives East Hollywood, would you say?
Yeah.
East Hollywood.
Echo Park, yeah.
And it's not, Black people don't live there typically.
Yeah.
But she's not just Black, right? And like that is the beauty, you know, that I wanted to show. So the movie starts off, you hear the music, you think you're going to see another person in the apartment, but you see this other person, and I don't know. I'm a plus size woman, and almost all of my partners kind of look like Jarrell, the guy who plays Shaheed in the movie, and I really wanted her to be loved by someone like that because we see the reverse all the time.
Yes.
We see the reverse all the time, and I was like, no, if you go to the Midwest or the South, that's what you see.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm imagining in the DR, you're going to see a kind of stick little muscular man with a voluptuous woman, and the politics too. Like I wanted the politics of the time, because a lot of people think when Black people or people of color get rights, it's better for us.
Yeah.
But it's actually very painful of the reasons why we get rights.
Yeah.
That means something happened bad.
Yeah.
Right? So, and just those intimate conversations against, with men and women. I also wanted to show men and women can just be lovers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be messy.
Yes.
That was the other thing, because there's so many women I know that live not being touched because they want a love of their life.
Yeah.
But they're their love of their life.
I
Right?
also took that from the film too, in that we can take control. The relationship or whatever it is, the situationship, as the kids say these days, does not have to take control of us. We have more rights than we think. We have our voice and we have control. We can be players if we want to be players, right? And I got that from the film because I think we need to remind ourselves of the confidence that sometimes gets lost in a relationship when we put others first.
And also, a big part of that is also, not adhering to someone else's definition of what you should do, how you should move, how you should walk in the world. I don't need your permission for
You don't.
diddly squat. Gracias, mi amor.
I just want to touch you. Okay.
But yeah, we don't need permission from anyone. And it's a beautiful gift that Maegan gave me to be able to exhibit here in this festival so that my family can actually come. And it's beautiful. It was beautiful. It's the first time my family's seen me on film anywhere.
Oh my God,
It's beautiful.
Adargiza.
It's beautiful. It was a huge gift.
And you are representing San Pedro de Macorís.
San Pedro de Macorís,
Ay.
drinking my guava berry, watching the sun go down. Oh, woman, that's all I need in San Pedro de Macorís. Oh, good morning, good morning. Hey, don't get me started.
And
Don't
thank
get me
you
started.
for embracing our culture. I love what you guys set up in the Q&A. You wanted to let people know that there's more to Adargiza than maybe people see and judge real quick. We are out here. Dominicans are outside. I've been saying this for a while now. It's our turn. It was our turn. Then we had to pass the torch and shit. But yeah, we got it back. So thank you so much for going beyond probably what you advocate for on a day-to-day basis and doing this for us, for the patria.
No, the thing I loved about it, and still do, the opening night movie about Frida LaGrande. And I'm telling you, I didn't
Pepita,
know.
Pepita La Grande.
Pepita,
And I did not
icon.
know, right?
Yes.
Well, see, and I didn't know.
Game changer.
And
But I think a lot of us-
Adargiza was like translating stuff to me. But I was like, I get it. I can see it. And the story was so empowering to anyone. And, you know, a gentleman said, thank you for, you know, talking about our culture. I was just like, well, it's mine too. And it was taken from me. Right?
Absolutely.
Like that's the
Give
thing.
me
Like,
chills.
yes,
Absolutely.
like it was taken from me.
Wow,
Like
girl.
our editor is from Colombia. And he was like, you guys are my people. He didn't, you know what I mean? And his skin color is like yours. Like he doesn't understand America. Like he was like, this is weird. So we also, the other producer is Panamanian.
WEPA.
Yeah. And then the artist that did the art for the podcast,
Oh,
she's
wow. All the art in the background.
yeah. She's Afro-Latina too. That the hair and makeup artist. I really tried to embrace a lot of women so they could all give me their perspectives, right? Because I don't want to be like the typical white man or tone deaf person. I want to actually, you know, make a film, and then we showed it as something Latina. It's an up and coming magazine, and it was so great, like to show it to that audience because they're mostly Mexican and white, right?
Yeah. And
Yes.
let me tell you something. As a podcaster who's been doing this for almost 8 years now,
Wow.
elevating Latino voices, 412 episodes. Who's counting? I am. Okay. It is so nice to see us represented in a film. And just how powerful. I know that I'm shifting moods with this podcast. And I know I'm putting people on out there. Like maybe I'm not doing it, but I'm providing this platform for people like y'all to come on here and boast with do right, to tell people about what you're doing on a day-to-day and where we can see you. Because if not, the sauce is thick out there. You can get lost in this sauce real easy. You know, remember that commercial? It's in there. There's tomatoes, there's onions. There's a lot in that sauce. And we need to see the ingredients because the ingredients are what make the motherfucking sauce.
That makes man.
Okay, you guys, we gotta wrap up, but please tell everyone where they can find you, where they can follow you, and remember Abbott Elementary, the nurse. Okay, I got your message loud and clear, Megan. Please tell them where you are on socials.
I'm Adargiza De Los Santos on IG. It's ADARGIZA De Los Santos, and you can find me there.
I am. You can find me at Hudson Philmore.
Philmore with a PH.
Yes. On Instagram, and then you can find all the rest of it, or you can go to hudsonfilmore.com and you can find all my information there as well.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
Yes,
I know
thank
this
you.
was like, hey, can you do that? Like we totally bombarded them. They were taking pictures with family.
This
and
is awesome. This is awesome.
Thank you so much
We
for
appreciate
taking
you.
the time.
I want to say one more thing, just so you know. The Horror of Dolores Roach. She was in The Horror of Dolores Roach. It's on Prime. So if you want some
So
really awesome Afro-Latina performances, check it out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I love you, girl.
We will support these women, okay? That's what we do here. We are still here at the Dominican Film Festival. There is a round robin going on here, and I love round robins. I also love Robin the Bird, and I have a few friends named Robin who I also love very much. But this is about getting people in and out here for this episode of Latinos Out Loud, where it is un honor to talk to filmmakers, actresses, actors, people involved in this industry that are really putting Dominicans on the map. And we have Airham Almonte here, who is director. Did you also write the film?
I wrote it and directed.
Flor de Mayo, which was a very, very touching piece about Alzheimer's. We just spoke with Collazo, and she really brought the message, you know, through her acting self.
She
But
did
now
amazing.
we're talking to Airham, who's behind it all, who we'd like to know where you drew inspiration
Great.
for this film from.
Well, first, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to talk to all of you and for everybody that's listening to the interview and watching. The film was inspired by my grandmother. That's the main reason I did it. Earlier this year, I received a call that her health wasn't doing the best, and she's been suffering with Alzheimer's for over 10 years, I believe, like 13 years. And after working in the industry for a few years, I realized that it had been a long time since I did a project in Spanish. And that happened around the same time as that realization. And I just decided I wanted to make a project where I channel my experiences and what I cherish about my grandmother in the film. And so I did it. It's pretty much a film about the intricacies of the care of a person with Alzheimer's, and I'm very happy everybody received it the way they did.
I love it when we see a filmmaker who's doing a production with purpose.
Thank you.
There are not that many films that talk about those taboo topics that we as Latinos, as Dominicans, don't raise to the surface that like we should. I think we suffer a lot from having to deal with these things when they happen, as opposed to knowing about these ailments, these diseases beforehand, and knowing how to attack and how to prevent and what to do, change in diet. It's always that, you know, we show up to the emergency room and it's like,
Yes.
oh, hey, I'm here. You should have been going to the doctor before you got to the emergency room.
Exactly.
So tell us about that part of it, and was like there any research needed to be done on Alzheimer's? Like, tell us your feeling on that and what needs to be done,
Perfect.
whether it's through art or whatever, for la comunidad.
Great. Totally agree with you in that sense. I feel like our community, in a way, doesn't want to face like not necessarily adversities, because we are people that fight. You know, like Latinos, we fight. You know, like we're very hard. But
I mean, we fight, but like, you know, I
but
think
like
he means like we
no,
fight for the cause.
We
you know
fight
what
for
I'm
the
saying?
cause. We fight
Yeah.
for the cause.
Yeah.
But in terms of illnesses, we don't want to acknowledge certain things, you know. And for my family specifically, for the span of the 10, 13 years my grandmother has been suffering Alzheimer's, we've tried the best and every single solution we possibly could, whether it was here in the United States or in the Dominican Republic, for her treatment. So I was already very involved with treatments, but there's still not a cure.
Right.
So I feel like as an artist, as a person of the community, as a Dominican, my responsibility is to create awareness about everything that happens within it, you know, every aspect of it. And we're gonna be making a screening. We're gonna be screening in Boston very soon, and the goal is to use all the money we can get to send it to the Alzheimer's Foundation
Oh, I
to
love
improve the research, to be able to find, you know, like give impulse, you know, to the people that are trying to fight, that are fighting to solve this mystery, because there's so many people out there that suffer from Alzheimer's, and people have to be seen. People have to understand that, like, all of these people is going through this illness that it doesn't have any cure. It doesn't have any cure.
I also feel that the in-culture awareness, you know, fighting or battling Alzheimer's as a Dominican family is different than fighting this ailment as an American family with English as their first language. So I applaud you. I put a lot of applause towards you in the theater, but now I am really applauding you for delving into this topic. You also mentioned in the Q&A that you are working on a documentary.
Correct.
Can we hear a little bit more about that?
Totally, yeah. So the documentary is called Phil's Corners Poet, and it was filmed in Boston, Phil's Corners, Dorchester, which is an area that has a big Latino community, Black community, and Asian community. Everything all mixed up in there. And the film is about paying attention to your surroundings and how people relate and connect to art in their surroundings, giving voices to marginalized communities. So it was inspired by me and my friend Marty noticing a lot of graffiti around the area, and we wanted to know. It was something that kept increasing day by day, and we were very curious about that. And we got to talk with the police and many other locals. And in our search, we were able to find amazing artists that were living on the streets. That we're making art. Like if you're able to see the documentary, we're going to be sending it to festivals very soon. But if you see the film and you see the art these people make and the things they have to say, which transcend culture and time, it's amazing. And you see the conditions they live and how our communities, how our government, how our society treats them, it's very upsetting. So we wanted to just put that out there and show and amplify those voices.
We'll be on the lookout for it, but for now, tell everybody where they can follow you on social media.
Totally, yeah. So you can follow me at Airham Almonte, AIRHAM, Almonte, ALMONTE on Instagram. And my website is airamalmonte.com. I'm based in Boston. I'm a filmmaker, photographer, and we can connect. Send me a message.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love seeing Rachel in love. So
Did you get that?
I think I got caught. I didn't really.
Okay, let's shift the interview real quick. Ricky, you've never seen me in love.
I've never, and I'm so happy to see you in love.
What's Rachel La Loca in love from
Oh
the outside
my
perspective?
God.
Please, we want to know.
So-
or just, I want to know.
So glowing and just, you know, you've always been, you know, bright and just, you know, I don't want to say, just so happy. Just so happy, and I love to see it.
Thank you so much. Let's just talk about me this interview. I get it. BS for Bachata and the Dominican Film Festival and the New York Latino Film Festival and a whole slew of other stuff, Georgia. Okay, but it's really about me right now being in LOVE.
Yes.
And actually, I want to talk about another love. I have such a profound love for Bachata.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you. Guys, we're here with Ricky Rosario. How many times have you been on the show so far? Is
I
this
mean,
your
this is
se-
the third,
Yeah,
fourth.
I think
This
this
is
is
the-
I lost count, but we'll buy you a toaster next time.
Thank you.
Or some sort of embroidered jacket like
I'll
they
take
do on
it.
SNL.
Oh, like a lot of varsity jacket kind
Something.
of thing?
I promise you, it may not be embroidered.
Okay.
It may be an iron-on. It's
take
really
it.
all I can afford right now.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I have been dying to see B is for Bachata for
Awesome.
so long. And I finally got to see it today.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I see
Thank
all
you.
my friends on screen. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
How many festivals has this film been in at this point?
So far, 3. And then we're waiting for some more. I think we submitted to 14 total, something like that. So, you know, still waiting for a couple more. That'll be 2025. You're getting kind of exclusive right here. We did win an award at Georgia. By the time this comes out, it's okay. So
Congratulations!
We
Oh
all-
my God, that's happening right now.
that's happening right now.
The Georgia Latino Film Festival.
it's happening right now. So we found out we won an award. We find out tomorrow exactly which award. But yeah, we found out.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
It's
thank
so
you.
great.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to start out with a very basic question.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Grateful, just grateful that I can have work that's out there, you know, like, as you know, it's very hard to put these things together. So just to have something out and something that people are enjoying and, you know, and taking it in and learning from it and just like really expressing how much they like appreciate it. I'm like, wow, I mean, like, you know, I appreciate for what they write, it's my work and I put so much into it, but to have other people just see it and also appreciate it just like means the world to me.
Well, we have this love and appreciation for bachata, basically music in general as Dominican people. I know y'all can feel me out there, but like how many Saturdays and Sundays you wake up to your mom blasting music while she's cleaning the crib? And now I'm that mom that I blast. This morning I was blasting Luis Vargas.
Yeah.
Coming out of the bathroom, el dolor, que me a la mesa fue. You know what I mean? It's in us. It's
Totally.
ingrained in us.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to answer this question for you, but what was the inspiration? What was the driver for you to make this film?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, but one thing I could say is just like living in LA, as you know, there's not a lot of Dominicans. Or we're getting better now. There's a lot more of us, but just knowing that bachata has grown so much that there's these like different versions of bachata and just like, you know, cool, great that people know it, right? But like, do you guys know where it comes from? You know, like I want to make sure people are understanding where the music comes from, where the music originates from, what the like original dance is, you know, not kind of like theatrics that we see
The kids
now.
are doing something today that I had no idea. My feet can't do that.
No one does flips in bachata. There's no reason
No.
no one should be flipping in bachata. So that was definitely a big inspiration. And another thing too is like bachata records are very hard to find. I don't know if you ever like been to a record store. Like even if you look at different sections, there's salsa, there's Latin, there's miscellaneous, and you go down to miscellaneous B, and there's still no bachata. Like it's crazy. I go to the biggest record store in LA, and there's not one section for bachata.
That is so sad. Meanwhile, there are so many amazing songs and
Yeah.
artists that really paved the way for some of the artists of today.
Yeah.
So your film is really interesting because what year does it take place in?
It takes place now. But in the film, we kind of learn a little bit about the history, which is really taking place. The history of bachata is really like 1950s, 1960s, stuff like that. So it takes place today, but it kind of touches.
But we're
on
looking back on like the age of Trujillo, when
Yes,
Trujillo was in
exactly.
power.
Yep.
And stripped people of their rights to very many things.
Yeah.
Was that? Oh, I don't want to have a spoiler in this interview. There was something that happened to a bunch of records.
Yeah.
Did that actually happen?
So there's nothing on record that happened.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. but what is known is that he was very against it, right? And I took creative freedom in terms of like, could this have happened? No one knows. But is it a possibility? Possibly. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone really, truly destroyed the music in some form or fashion, because he was very against it. He didn't want anyone dancing it. He didn't want anyone listening to it. He basically threatened DJs, threatened radio stations, threatened people that were about the music, So I wanted to touch a little bit on that in some way, and once you watch the film, you'll see what I'm talking about. But
this project really has purpose, Ricky.
Thank
So
you.
that must feel really good too, because you're educating, you're entertaining, you're enlightening, the triple E effect all at the same time. I asked you this question during the Q&A in the theater, but I'd like for you to share with the LOLeros, writing and directing, making a film about music comes with very many legalities and legalese needed for use of music. Tell us about the scoring of the film. Were these original songs and how that played? See what I did there? How that played out.
So for sure in writing bachata, I was like, I have to try to get at least one real bachata song, a classic. However I get to find it, I have to find it. So I want to shout out just the music team. Steve, which is the Nova, he did the original songs that we hear in the film, and Tony and Adele, which they helped me find the one classic song. I don't want to say it, I want people to watch it, but they helped me find the one classic song in the, not, I don't want to say the legal way, but just like the proper way to do it in film and production, which these guys work on like big Amazon and Netflix projects. So to have their insight and their guidance to like get the song was a whole other process of production that I've never done. That now for me, I'm like, oh, easy. I got my team now. Whenever I want real cool music, I know who to go to. You know what I mean?
I love that evolution of like the team. Like you now have access to the team that's going to help further your career moving forward. I love the topics that you choose to write about. I cannot wait to see what's next.
The feature's next. I'm working on the feature.
I was just going to ask you. Tell us.
So I'm working on the feature for bachata. It's going to expand on what we saw in the short. It'll definitely dive more into the history and that time period of DR, in Dominican Republic, and just I want to shed a light on our culture. I brought up in the Q&A in the theater just like the way like rock and roll is revered. Like I feel like that's bachata for us, right? Luis Vargas, Anthony Santos, like these guys are our Bob Dylan. Like these guys are literally our Bob Dylan, our Rolling Stones, our Elvises. Like, that's who these people are to us, and I want to bring that to light. In a feature, and hopefully it gets out to the world. And
I love to see it. Country music is the #1 genre here in the United States. Bachata is Dominican country music. If you want to hear about breakups and how, this woman was cheating on him and he's taken to the bottle, maybe it's not moonshine. In our case, it's usually Johnny Walker or Barceló or algo así, Mama Juana. It's relevant. It's yesterday, it's today, and it's tomorrow. Bachata's not going anywhere, but with the help of films like yours, I feel like assured that it's not going anywhere. Let's see the Bachata Hall of Fame. Let's induct those artists while they're still living legends. There's so much work to be done. Thank you for doing your part.
Of course, thank you.
Ricky, love having you on the show.
Thank you for having me on again.
Tell everyone where they can follow you and keep up to date with all your projects.
Yes, you can follow me at Yo Yoooo Rick. That's YOYOO Rick. That's on IG, and I think the whole Instagram and then Facebook stuff all comes out, Twitter and all that stuff. And yeah, I have a couple other projects coming up that I co-wrote, I'm executive producing, so we'll see about those in a bit. I'm actually here shooting that, so.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Also, you're killing two birds with one Dominican stone.
Pretty much.
That's so awesome.
It's another Dominican story, so yeah.
Yes,
So-
God, you're on fire right now.
Thank you,
I love
thank
it
you.
so much.
Thank you.
You guys, it's no coincidence that we're hearing bachata right now here at Quad Cinema.
I know, right?
I've never heard Latin music come out of the speakers of this movie theater, but we're hearing it right now. Thank you so much for your time.
Rachel.
And Lueleros, thank you. This has been such an amazing episode of Latinos Out Loud, Loca on location, LOL. If you like acronyms like me, this has been the Dominican Film Festival 2024. I cannot wait. There are so many more events. Are you going to the Copa tonight?
Yes, I'm gonna go tonight.
Okay, so I might see you tonight at the Copa
Copacabana.
Yeah, there's so much. Shout out to Eddie behind the scenes, and shout out to all the filmmakers and actors and writers and producers and PAs and anyone else who's been a part of this festival. Shout out to Armando.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Armando.
Edwin, to Wilmal, everybody who works here at this amazing festival. Mwah, un beso grande.
Thank you, guys.
And on
Thank you,
that
thank you.
note, no, wait, I gotta tell you where you can follow me before I can close the show. I'm telling everybody else where they can follow. You can follow me at Rachel La Loca. You can follow the show at We Are Latinos Out Loud. You can also go to our website. Yeah, we have a website, one of
Let's
those
go.
things. It's wearelatinosOutloud.co, okay? .co. You can also give us a call at 978 Latinos, no big whoop. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. And on that note, we out.
Thanks.
It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast.